A story that has been going viral all across social media. We spent some time talking about this one in our newsroom. People are sounding off about an Atlanta restaurant called Jin Chan's. The restaurant is garnering all of this attention because it's charging customers with a health insurance fee.
It's for the restaurant's full-time employees, and they've been actually doing it for more than a year now, but it was just recently that the owner's family received threats about that extra fee. Atlanta News First reporter Asia Wilson has this story from Cabbagetown.
The doors to Jin Chan's in Cabbagetown have been flooded with people.
But now we are, booked out. Every table, every bar seat is reserved, like on the weekends. It's pretty wild.
Part of it could be attributed to the unique options for food.
We do pizza and Chinese.
But something else they've been dishing out has caught the attention of many. Customers paying a 4% health insurance fee for the restaurant's full-time employees.
This year it covered every single thing. And it was $2,000 off, which means that 4% is just like, it's almost the perfect amount of money to cover everyone's premiums.
The business says it was implemented after their premiums more than tripled.
We feel like there's a pretty huge crisis going on with health insurance. No one can afford it. Nothing has worked.
Emily Chan and her wife have been doing this for more than a year.
They have a message posted as soon as you walk into the door. It's on every menu and on all receipts.
The signage also states they can remove the fee without hesitation if the customer chooses not to pay it. But recently they received these threatening messages from out-of-town guests who aren't so happy about it. One in particular was mad about a $2 extra fee.
They ate food here, dined in, said nothing while they were here.
Sam Hammer, the lead bartender, has been working here for a year and said before joining the team he didn't have insurance.
I don't have money like that. And so I was just kind of like living my life without it.
Others we spoke to off camera are happy their dollars are helping others.
People who walked in the door and said, hey, I hear what you're doing for your employees. I've worked in the restaurant industry and we never had health insurance.
Chan hopes this will make a difference in the lives of her employees.
Not changing a thing.
But also send a message to the entire industry.
The only thing I hope that we can change is if Congress does something, then I can just take that line item off completely and not even worry about it.
In Atlanta, Asia Wilson, Atlanta News First.
Certainly a talker because it's a gratuity fee, right? We see these on our receipts and we're like, where is this going? We know it's going to help the physical well-being of our employees out there.
Well, glad to see that this works for this restaurant.
Absolutely.
So,